thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Look, 3M, here's the headline. 3M $6 billion earplug settlement said to face failure if veterans refuse. So guess what? You get a choice in this, and that's something that's not really being talked about. So the $6 billion lawsuit through mass tort litigation for the 3M earplugs, those dual-sided earplugs, for paying you out for your hearing loss or your tinnitus or your migraines due to that or your insomnia due to that, right? Whatever it is, your ball of issues due to the noise exposure from failing earplugs, this thing may fall apart. Now, here's the thing. $6 billion sounds like a lot, but in the reality, it's not really that much. You have to contrast this with the bellwether trials and the payout for the individuals in the mass tort litigation. So the individual bellwether trials were paying out tens of millions of dollars to veterans with hearing loss. Now, some of them lost, right? We'll give it that. Some veterans lost, but more won. And they won millions of dollars. So the question is, do you accept or do you deny the offerings, right, from this settlement, which may be in the range of $10,000 to $15,000, right, for the majority of people. So you're going to be offered 10 or 15. Do you accept that, or do you say, no, I'm good, and you go find yourself a lawyer and you take 3M to court and you see if you can win that way? And you might walk away with millions of dollars. Who knows? So anyway, in this article, I wanted to read to you because of this headline, right? It's pretty interesting. It's an interesting twist on this 3M litigation and ultimate settlement offer. But the veterans, us, we still have to agree. I think the number's 98%, that 98% of us involved, of the 250,000, 98% have to say, yes, I'll take the offer. If enough say no, then the offer goes away and they're back to the negotiating table. So let's jump back into this. 3M's $6 billion agreement to settle lawsuits claiming its combat earplugs were defective may collapse if enough veterans refuse to accept the deal. Bloomberg News reported Thursday, citing two law professors. So very interesting. It's a very interesting twist. And I did a video on this a couple days ago, and I actually did read the Bloomberg article. So dividing the settlement among 250,000 active claims is equal to $24,000 a person. But you have to take into consideration, and they mention it here, less when court costs and legal fees are included. So that's the gross amount, right? So what are you going to net at the end of all of that? If at least 98% of claimants don't approve the deal, 3M would face the possibility of further negotiations and jury trials that the settlement sought to avoid. So at least 98% have to approve it. If we don't, then we move back to the drawing board, right? Carl Tobias, a University of Richmond professor who teaches product liability law, said the settlement amount was too low compared with the damages awarded in the bellwether trials, which is what I mentioned at the beginning. Those trials have resulted in awards ranging from $1 million to $77.5 million. That is huge. 3M lost 10 of 16 cases that went before juries, which awarded the claimants a total of $265 million. Elizabeth Birch, a University of Georgia law professor who specializes in multi-district litigation, said a bigger settlement would improve the deal's chance of being accepted. Bloomberg News reported 3M's board of directors on Monday ratified a $6 billion agreement to settle claims that its combat earplugs didn't protect veterans from hearing loss. The settlement may provide more clarity about potential product liability costs for the maker of Post-it notes and Scotch tape. And that ends the article. But, it's really, really interesting, the twists here that are now in front of us. And I'm very curious to see what the next steps look like. Some of these lawyers out there who are going to be obviously making money off of this $6 billion settlement, I'm not sure what their approach is going to be. Are they going to push for the agreements? Hey, this is really great, you got to take it, to try to get to that 98% so they could be done? Or are they going to be more about here's your options, right? I do believe that it is a little bit low. I would think that if you could get to we'll say $25,000 minimum net pay to the individual veterans, you would get that 98% very easily. If you're in around the $10,000 range, it's going to be a harder sell. So I guess we'll see what happens with this 3M stuff. I'll keep bringing you information on it as I see it. I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.